I'm Jason, and tonight we read one of my all-time favorites from the revised Aesop's Fables, The Lion and the Mouse. A lion, asleep in his lair, was woke up by a mouse running over his face. Losing his temper and seizing it with his paw, he was about to kill it, and the mouse, terrified, piteously entreated him to spare his life. "Please let me go," it cried, "and one day I will repay you for your kindness." The idea of so insignificant a creature ever being able to do anything for him amused the lion so much that he laughed out loud and, good-humoredly, let it go. But the mouse's chance came, after all. One day the lion got entangled in the net in which he had been spread for game by some hunters, and the mouse heard and recognized the roar of the angry lion and ran to the spot. Without more ado, it set to work gnawing on the ropes with his teeth and succeeded before long in setting the lion free. "There," said the mouse, "you laughed at me when I promised I would repay you. But now, you see, even a mouse can help a lion." And one of the reasons I love this is it's so applicable nowadays, at least, that things change, situations change. And I know this now, being a father, that, my child is very different now than the day she was born. She's a little over a year old. And when she was born, she was 100% helpless. And now, that she's one, she has her personality coming through and she's talking and she has opinions and she wants things and she's, doing baby sign language and all of this. And I'm seeing more and more of myself reflected back. And I can only think about what's going to happen, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, how things will be different. And back to this moral, how we treat people now greatly matters in the future. Sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes we have interactions with people every day and we goof up or we do something wrong. We just need to get over it, move on, and try not to make the same mistake later. I completely agree. But in this example, when there's a mouse that in, lore is a very tiny creature that can't do much, and you have the lion, which is the symbol of power. The fact that the lion, believed the mouse and just kind of let the mouse go free without any expectation that anything was going to happen, and then he was able to get help from the mouse. We need to remember when we're angry, when we're in positions of power, when we are dealing with young children, when we're dealing with our parents, that just because we are angry or just because we want something doesn't necessarily mean we should act on that anger. It doesn't mean we should yell. It doesn't mean we should be mean. It doesn't mean that we should hurt those around us just because we can, just because we're angry, just because there's something that we want doesn't mean we should always do it, especially if it means hurting other people. And that is the big thing. Well, what if I just want something? Should I let other people walk all over me, right? Should we let people treat us badly? No. But in this story, the mouse wasn't hurting the lion. The mouse was walking on the lion's face. And yes, it's a little bit of a nuisance, but it wasn't hurting the lion. So we as humans, we as people, as we grow, as soon as somebody's annoying us, we don't need to be mean, because you never know when we will need their help in the future. But also, if we hurt somebody or we are a little nuisance to somebody and they treat us kindly, we will be more willing to help them. But if they treat us poorly, we're not going to want to help them at all. So there's so many different facets to this story. That's why it's one of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoyed reading. Good night.